everyone. Eric Woolridge with the Additive Guru channel. Today I have with me Jason Roth of Autodesk, and we're going to be talking a little bit about generative design. Jason, tell us a little bit about what you do with Autodesk and what your role is.
Absolutely. So I'm the Engineering Education Program Manager with Autodesk, and so I travel around to community colleges and universities across the country and help them with all things using Fusion with that. We also have a technical team that helps us, so I make the connections and help with the use of it and whatever's needed for that school.
Cool. Well, one of the major topics we're dealing with right now is this concept of generative. And a lot of folks have had parametric design and computer design. There's all these different softwares. What makes generative different, and why is this such a hot term?
That's a great question. And the reason it's different is it flips the design process on its head. And actually you start with the performance criteria first, and what do you want it to do, and you apply that into the model space and in your area, and then you let the cloud design the part from there. So it's not that we're making the cloud and this AI and it's designing for us. We're putting in the criteria and it's designing off of that criteria. The other thing is it's really meant to do two things. It's meant to lightweight, and it's also what makes us different and unique is that we're able to actually have a working model from that generative design that can actually be used from there on out, either machining, 3D printing, or any other process.
Gotcha. So would you say it's an improvement in terms of functionality? You can actually get more bang for your buck in terms of material?
Absolutely. So now we have less waste. We can do more because we're letting the cloud do the computations, and we're doing it better. We're making things stronger. One of the other great things about this is being able to combine parts. So we can take an assembly that maybe has 8, 10, 12, 15 parts, and now combine it into one part.
Gotcha.
Which makes it lighter, stronger, uses less material.
Part consolidation, absolutely. And and that also goes to no one has to assemble those multiple parts anymore.
Absolutely.
And which has a huge impact overall on the supply chain. So that's pretty awesome technology. And as part of that cutting edge that we're going for with this new step of additive and even more advanced computer manufacturing is the ability to actually create next generation parts. So we feel like this generative design is going to be something that just makes a huge impact on what our products look like in the future.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how fast it's grown in a short amount of time that it's been out. We started with 3-axis and 5-axis capability with additive in there as well, and now we have 2-axis capability and some other things coming down the pipe that is just going to explode in this area and with generative design.
That's awesome. That's awesome indeed. And we're excited to be a part of this. We're excited to be, at Somerset Community College and the Additive Manufacturing Center of Excellence. We're really excited to be able to bring this to the practical folks, the technicians, the students, and the folks that really need to do this just to increase the capability. So we're really awesome the fact that we're able to work together on this kind of thing. What do you see is over the next 4 or 5 years of technology like this?
Yeah, I think, of course, getting it out there and getting it understood what it is and how it can be used. We're seeing uses of all different types. Some uses that weren't intended. Cool. That's great to see that innovation and creativity is coming out of it. We think also that the education is going to have to shift a little bit because of this new technology and this. It's really a disruption in how things are being designed. And so we've got to think differently in how we teach it. And then as those students get out there, they're able to apply it better and more.
Well, and that brings up a good question. What's a barrier that you all see from the concept of going from normal parametric modeling to generative?
It's that shift in how you design. So you have to have that performance criteria up front. And so understanding some of the load constraints, that sometimes is hard, but you naturally just want to design the part and then test it. Here it's, let's kind of maybe do some testing beforehand, some thinking, and let's apply those constraints and then let the cloud do the decision making on what are some options based on those constraints. So then you also have to then also dissect all of these iterations that come out. So you might have 30 or 40 different iterations, and then each one of those has sub-iterations of how it was developed in the cloud. So now you have to go through and maybe use a scatter plot and some other, an XY validation of it and see, all right, this one and this one are the two I want to look at and validate. And then I'll pick this one and maybe machine it or additively print it or laser cut it or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
So really having to evaluate that piece.
That's really awesome. And on that note, so what industries are probably going to be the low-hanging fruit with this?
Yeah, so as we talked about with those sub-assemblies, where there's a lot of assemblies going into one piece, is those kind of small manufacturing making those things. We're seeing it in aerospace, we're seeing it in automotive, and all the way down to the suppliers, not just the big names.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're seeing it in the suppliers of those parts to those companies. And then what we're seeing it in actually in some kind of odd spots of construction being
Really?
used. We're seeing it in industrial design areas of creating these organic shapes and these organic parts. And then anything that needs to be lightweighted is Generative Design is a perfect solution for that, at least from a frontal standpoint.
That's a pretty broad spectrum of industry,
Yeah.
so it's pretty safe to say it's going to impact everything.
Absolutely. There's not an industry we're not in right now.
That's awesome.
I pretty much can guarantee that.
That's awesome indeed. Well, Jason, thanks for coming by and
Yes.
working with us on this, and we're really excited about the opportunities. And thank you all. Check out some of our other videos we have on the channel, and hopefully you can get to design and do some cool things. We'll see you.